This is the best new watch that I've tried all year, and it's from a company I've never heard of and I've never heard anybody mention, and I'm blown away. And that's the honest truth. Let's talk about IWC for a second. You know IWC, right? The legendary watch company that sponsored Top Gun Maverick and the new Brad Pitt movie, Formula One. IWC is known for making fantastic watches. They have a lot of history, but I feel like IWC has gotten a little too big for their britches. I haven't heard too many people say bad things about IWC, but I have heard them say things like they're overpriced, they don't have an identity, they're relying on Hollywood to build their brand. Are all those things true? Maybe. I don't know, but I'll tell you what they did to me that made me angry. See, I'm a big fan of military watches, mil-spec watches, and even watches that just have like a general military feel to them. And IWC, well, they made military watches for most of their history. As a matter of fact, even to this day, they're known for making pilots' watches, and they got their start doing that by making watches for the military. Now, they make some beautiful chronographs. They make some beautiful pilot's watches. But the best watch that I thought IWC made was the Spitfire. It's pretty much like the cheapest watch they made. It's very simple, very elegant, very below what I think they're capable of. IWC are very skilled watchmakers. Consider them to be like a top-tier Michelin star chef. And then you ask that chef to make you a grilled cheese sandwich. Now you know that the freaking chef's gonna kill it, right? They're gonna blow it out of the flipping water. That's so easy to them. How is it not gonna be perfect? Well, that's what the Spitfire was for IWC. It's just a basic Flieger watch made by a company that's like, really? You want me to make that? Okay, and guess what? They killed it. Of course, it was $5,000, which is a lot for a basic, simple Flieger watch. It's kind of a crazy thing to do, but it's also kind of like a baller thing to do. Because Flieger watches are some of the most classic and well-designed and beautiful watches you can buy. They're extremely legible, they kind of work with every outfit, they look almost like a dress watch, yet you could wear them on a hunting trip. I have seen review after review after review talking about the IWC Spitfire and how amazing it is, and how it's the only pilot's watch you ever need, and how it may be the only watch you ever need. So what did IWC do? Of course, they discontinued it, right? They're too good for that watch. They're working with Tom Cruise. They're working with Brad Pitt. They don't need to make simple pilot's watches anymore, man. They're too good for that. Gives them a sense of arrogance, in my opinion, and I don't like that. But that doesn't mean that that watch is bad. Just because IWC abandoned it and think they're too good for it now, doesn't mean it's a bad watch. And I want it. I've wanted one. It's on my freaking wish list to buy, but you can't go to an authorized dealer and get it anymore. What are you gonna do? You gotta buy it on the secondary market, and they're kind of pricey. That watch is so good, people don't want to let it go, and when they do, they're asking a little bit of a premium for it. Even though it is cheaper than it was new, it is still freaking a basic pilot's watch that costs like $3,000 to $4,000. Used. It's not the $74 grilled cheese anymore. Now it's a slightly used grilled cheese sandwich that costs $61. And I was on the verge of paying for it, man. Why? Like I said, it's such a great watch. Let's talk about what makes the Spitfire such a good watch. Well, when you look at it, okay, it's just a basic Flieger watch. It's got the little marker at 12 o'clock that we all know and love. It has simple markings printed on the dial. It has a date complication, 39mm case diameter, great. Perfect watch, it's thin, wonderful. But why does it stand out over the other dozen companies that make freaking Flieger watches almost exactly like this? Well, I'll tell you. Other than just the execution, which is, the best probably, it's the color scheme of this watch. If you look at other Flieger watches from like Laco or Stova, it's just like white on black. Yeah, it's legible, but it doesn't have any sort of like sophistication to it. The IWC has sophistication. At the 12 o'clock mark, the 6 o'clock mark, and the 9 o'clock mark, it's not white. It's like an antiqued tan color. The IWC logo at the top with Schaffhausen, which I believe means like watch house. It's in the classic font, which looks sophisticated. That's great, but below it, where it says Spitfire, it's in blood red. The red, the white, the black, and the tan together look beautiful. That's what it is. That's why people pay freaking $5,000 for this watch. is for those colors. If you're looking at these colors, you might be like, I've seen that color scheme before. And there's a reason for that. See, IWC, well, they have a shady past. During World War II, IWC made watches for the Allies, but they also made watches for the freaking Nazis. Flieger watches are German pilots' watches from World War II. That's what it is. They are a classic design, they're very legible, but their history is steeped in maybe something a little unsavory. And by a little, I mean a lot unsavory. Doesn't mean they're bad watches. They have a shady past. Now, IWC, in a weird sort of ploy when they made the Spitfire, were like, we want to make a World War II era style watch, but we're a little shady about it. It's our past. It's a little shady. We don't want to hit on that too hard. Let's call it the Spitfire, which is a British fighter plane from World War II. Here is the color scheme of the Spitfire. Let's compare it against the IWC Spitfire watch. I don't know, man. These two watches, they don't look like they have too much in common with me. But when I look at the color scheme of the IWC, it reminds me of a different color scheme. It evokes a certain color scheme we may have seen somewhere else. It's a good looking color scheme. I mean, that's why the Germans picked it. It looks very sophisticated. It looks powerful. It looks, I don't know, menacing? Kind of. But it looks good on this watch. Oh well, I can't buy it. Sorry, IWC, you discontinued your Axis and Allies powered themed watch. What am I gonna do, man? Well, I'll tell you what I did. I scoured all over the freaking internet. I went on WatchCrunch. I went on Reddit. I went everywhere I could to find a watch like the IWC Spitfire that has that similar color scheme. It is a Flieger watch. And guess what? It doesn't exist. That watch doesn't exist anywhere. I reached out to Stova, which also made German watches in World War II. And I was like, hey, I'm a content creator. You want to make me a custom watch? And they're like, yes, we would love to do that. Nothing would make us happier. Tell us what you want. And I said, I want this color scheme. And they replied back, they're like, we can't do that. So where does that leave us? Well, it leaves me saving up several $1,000s to buy a used IWC Spitfire, which I kind of don't want to pay for. But I was going to do it until I learned about a different watch. A watch I've never heard anybody mention. I've never seen it anywhere. I've never seen a review of it. And I watch freaking watch reviews like all day. Someone posted this on the WatchCrunch app. It's an American company called Brigade, and they make a World War II pilot's watch called the Hurricane, which was an American fighter plane. And look at this watch. Compare this to the IWC. That's the color scheme, man. That's it. That's the freaking color scheme. They were inspired by IWC and they put out this watch. And I'm wearing it right now. I reached out to Brigade and was like, hey, I would love to check out your watch. I do a YouTube channel. Would you be willing to send me one? And they're like, yeah, we can send you one. Just send it back. And I was like, yeah, sure, of course. They sent it to me. I wore it for like 2 weeks and I had to have it. I reached back to them and was like, I want to buy this watch. And they're like, yeah, if you want to order one, yeah, go ahead. Sure, well, you go ahead and order one. And I was like, I kind of want this one that I've been wearing. And they're like, well, that's like a media piece. That's all beat up. Like other people have worn that. Like you're gonna send it on to the next reviewer, right? And I was like, yeah, okay, but I like this one. This is the one I've been wearing. I have some memories with it. I want it. And they're like, oh, we'll sell it to you at a discount. But if you want to do a review of it on your YouTube channel, well, we'll gift it to you. Which confused me a lot because I was under the impression they just sent it to me to do a review on my YouTube channel. No, I said, I want to try it out. They just sent this watch to me to literally try out like a test drive without expecting anything in return. That's how confident they are in this watch. They just sent it to me for free to try out. So that makes this a sponsored review. Thank you so much, Brigade, for gifting me this incredible watch. I was ready to put my credit card information in on the website and buy one. If that doesn't tell you something about this company, I don't know what will. It was founded by a military veteran who had a love for watches and just wanted to make watches in the United States that were military themed. So he got a team of master watchmakers with backgrounds in Swiss watchmaking and set up shop and started pumping out sick watches. I love that. It's an American-based company, so there's no tariffs, but it's not like a standard micro brand. So this watch has a 40mm case diameter, a freaking 48 lug-to-lug, and a 20mm lug width. It is like the most standard normal-sized watch you could ever buy. But this isn't a normal freaking micro brand watch. This is like more like independent watchmaker levels. It has an extremely elegant and well-finished and simple pilot watch case that is 12mm thick. That includes the domed sapphire crystal in it. This sapphire crystal is of the highest quality they could buy, and it is super tough. I've hit this watch on several things. I think a lot of these sapphire crystals you see on Microbrands are actually sapphire coated. This is not sapphire coated. This is the thing. It has, from what I can tell, no AR coating on it. If there's no reflection on this glass, this watch is like 10 out of 10 legible. If it catches the light a certain way, it can reduce the legibility, but it also makes the watch really sparkly. It has a horizontal and brushed finish around the case with some little areas of high polishing right around the crystal, which are just extremely well done and incredibly beautiful. It has a signed crown with the Brigade logo, and it has some edging on the back with the great and famous American plane, the Hurricane. And it comes on either a brown or a black leather strap. I was gonna put it on a green NATO because I thought that would be super cool, but I actually really love the brown. I love it. I'm just gonna leave it on there. That's not why you buy this watch though, for the case. You buy this watch for the dial and the movement. This does not have an NH34 or an NH35 movement or a Miyota. This has a Swiss movement in it. It has an ETA 2824-2, which, if you know anything about watches, that movement is in tons of watches from like Tissot. It is a workhorse movement. You see it everywhere. Everybody knows how to work on it. It is tried and true and tested. And let me tell you something. I've been wearing a lot of Microbrand watches recently. You can just tell when something has like an NH35 in it. The movement just feels, it's not bad, it just doesn't feel as robust. This feels mega robust. On the dial, you have the tan markings at 12, 6, and 9 o'clock. They're not quite as dark as on the IWC Spitfire. That's okay. You have a date window at the 3 o'clock position. You have Brigade and the Brigade logo, which I actually really love. It's like a coat of arms. And it sitting right under that 12 o'clock marker gives a lot of weight to the top half of the dial, and I really enjoy that. I didn't think I would like it, but I ended up liking it so much more because I realized the importance of legibility on watches. I have a lot of different watches and they are hard to see at a glance. That's the reason Flieger watches have that marker at 12 o'clock so you can quickly pop at it and see what time it is. And let me tell you something, having the Brigade logo right under that, buddy, you know immediately where 12 o'clock is. At the bottom of the dial, it says USA made, which is great to see on anything living in the United States. I respect watches from all over the world. I love Swiss watches. I love Chinese watches. I like Japanese watches. Watches from anywhere. If you make a good product, I respect it. The United States has a rich watchmaking history, and I'm so sad that it left. I'm glad to see it coming back. So seeing USA made on the dial gives me little warm tinglies inside. Now the handset on this is extremely well done with a lot of lume on the sword type hour and minute hands. Now the second hand is just, it's a stick with a balance. It looks beautiful. It has no lume. Not gonna fault it too much on that, but it is beautiful. And it sweeps really cleanly. It does not sweep like an NH35. This is a Swiss movement. Now, what impresses me about this watch? Like I said with the IWC Spitfire, it's like a Michelin star chef making you a grilled cheese sandwich. They've got the skills, and I'm sure they've got the finest quality ingredients. But at the end of the day, you're paying a crazy rate for something that like really doesn't require it. It's a flex. Pilot watches are not supposed to be a flex. They're supposed to be a tool. An elegant tool, but still a tool. And Brigade killed it with this. This watch is under $1,000. Everything on it is as high quality as you can really make it. The difference is it doesn't say IWC on the dial. Obviously, I have no affinity for IWC. I like IWC, I respect them, but I'm not gonna go out of my way and pay $4,000 extra to have something say IWC on it. Now, is this watch finished as well and built as well as an IWC Spitfire? I probably not, but I'll tell you this, the IWC Spitfire is not 5 times better than this. It's not. Now, I've heard lots of advice from YouTube videos telling you, don't buy a stopgap watch. If you really want something, if you really want the Rolex, don't get like the $1,000 diver to try to satisfy your need for the Rolex, right? Just save your money and get the thing you really want. And that's been the case for me on every single watch until this one. Once I had this watch on my wrist, I no longer wanted the IWC Spitfire. What I wanted was the color scheme. I wanted the build quality. I wanted a Flieger watch that was elegant, yet a tool watch. And they killed this 100%. That's exactly what it is. The only difference is it doesn't say IWC on it. This has been my most worn watch over the last 2 months. I love it. If I had to give this watch a rating for what it is, for what its cost is, how it looks, everything, I mean, it's the second time I've ever done it on this channel. The only other watch I've ever given a perfect score to is a Rolex. I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. You literally cannot buy this anywhere else. There is no other company that makes a watch with the IWC Spitfire color scheme that is inspired by the IWC Spitfire, that has that same feel, other than this and the IWC Spitfire. And one of them costs 5 times more than this. Thank you, Brigade, for sending me the watch. I really do love it. You guys go check them out. Like I said, there's a link down below. If you like the video, do that for me. Subscribe to the channel, give me a like, leave me a comment, hype the video if you can do that, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.